Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Ma Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Kho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Girivardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Where's Maharaj? Oh, seems we lost Maharaj. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, for whatever reason we lost Maharaj, we should hold on, he'll be back. Surely, he'll be back. Okay, he's back. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna, please accept the humble obeisance. All glories to you, all glories to
My humble
you.
obeisance.
Hare Krishna.
I need to put on this light. It's not light. Put it on.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you're welcome.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Yes.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, so if you're ready,
Yeah, can you hear me?
right on the screen. Yes, we can hear you, Maharaj. Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So first, I would like to mention that the location where I am today is very difficult to deal with the light fluctuation, the internet fluctuation, and also very, very low, very low reception. And you may not even see. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a challenge, but let's see what we can do.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1, chapter 11, text 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narota Devin Saraswati Vyase Suvya Sattva Jaya Mandaraya Nastapayas Padrisu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavaitanasti. So Srimad Bhagavatam 1:11-9. Yayambu Jaksha Pasasara Bobavam Kurun Madum Batasurid Didrikshaya Tatrabda Koti Pratimaha Shano Bhavet Ravim Vinakshno Iwanas Tawachuta. So what translation? Oh lotus-eyed Lord, whenever you go away to Mathura Vrindavan or Hastinapur to meet your friends and relatives, every moment of your absence seems like millions of years. O infallible one, at that time our eyes become useless, as if bereft of sun. Purport. We are all proud of purport by His Divine Grace, His Confounder Acharya, Srila Bhakti Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. We are all proud of our material senses for making experiments to determine the existence of God. But we forget that our senses are not absolute by themselves. They can only act under certain conditions. For example, our eyes. As long as the sunshine is there, our eyes are useful to a certain extent. But in the absence of sunshine, the eyes are useless. Lord Sri Krishna, being the primeval Lord, the supreme truth, is compared to the sun. Without him, all our knowledge is either false or partial. The opposite of the sun is the darkness. And similarly, the opposite of Krishna is Maya, or illusion. The devotees of the Lord can see anything in true perspective due to the light disseminated by Lord Krishna. By the grace of the Lord, the pure devotee cannot be in the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, it is necessary that we must always be in the sight of Lord Krishna so that we can see both ourselves and the Lord with his different energies. As we cannot see anything in the absence of the sun, so also we cannot see anything, including our own self, without the factual presence of the Lord. Without him, all our knowledge is covered by illusion. Om Gyana Timiram Visya, Gyana Jana Savakaya, Saksur Migatam, Jena Tasmai Sigurve, Sichetam Namistam, Stapitam Yenam Bhuta, Swayam Rupam Kadamaya, Dadati Sva, Padantikam. Vanchakalpatari Vacha, Kripasanabhya Evacha, Titanam Pavanabhyo, Vaishnavibhyo. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadara, Sri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhuta, Sena Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Deva Gaura Bhakti Anil Vesesa Swami Bhadi Pasatya Dizitari. O lotus-eyed Lord, whenever you go away to Mathura Vrindavan or Hastinapur to meet your friends and relatives, Every moment of your absence seems like millions of years, or infallible one. At that time, our eyes become useless, as if bereft of sun. So, the very presence of Krishna before his loved ones, his devotees, anywhere, either in Vrindavan, Mathura, in Hastinapur, wherever he may be, those who are fortunate to be within that vicinity. And so, when the Lord is able to move to another location, then the friends, well-wishers, and the Gopals and the Gopis, they feel completely their lives, they feel that their lives have become useless or unmeaningful. Because what really gives meaning to the life of the devotee is Krishna. And so here this very deep or insightful expression is presented. And we should look at it. I mean, it's like someone, I can do without you. That's a deep proclamation. And the depth of that proclamation basically reflects our love for that person, for that personality. And so it's like some people, some of the devotees of the Lord, just by their absence, but by the absence of the Lord, they could not have access to the Lord. They will want to kill themselves. So how we think about it? Have we had that type of experience in the material world where someone, the love intensity for someone is so much that without that person, you don't seem to be in existence. And the love is devoid of any material sense gratification. So the book we're reading, Srimad Bhagavatam, is so deep and is giving us some glimpse into what really is happening in the life of those who have devoted their existence, 100%, their emotions, their feelings in connection with the Lord. So here the comparison is given. Prabhupada gives the comparison. Now Krishna is like the sun. And without the sun, we're miserable. Our whole existence is miserable. We have to look for light, and even the light does not do the job properly. But we manage with light. We manage with flashlights. We manage with fluorescent tubes and so many other artificial provisions. But when the sun rises, it's a different scenario. Even those who are feeling sleepy, sleep runs away. You can experiment this. Be in the dark to chant Hare Krishna, okay? See the difference between when you stay in the dark by yourself and when there is sunlight. Now in the dark, sleep may bother you here and there. But when there is sunlight, when you're in the sunlight, hardly sleep knows the road to your presence. So in a similar way, when we make Krishna the center of our lives, we may have difficulties. I mean, I was watching some wrestling match between Bruce Lee and one guy, And this Bruce Lee is like, he looks like a small, smallish guy, but he's so powerful. And he hits people down here and there, but people get up. And the people that he fights with, also, although he's so powerful, they hit him down. So the bottom line is that we may get so much of challenges, but with the presence of Krishna in our existence, we will be inspired to be able to walk in the light or walk on a path to be able to sustain our relationship with Krishna. And if someone they are completely oblivious of even so-called challenges of life. So the devotees of the Lord, they are afraid of the absence of Krishna. The non-devotees, it doesn't make any difference. And therefore, it is important for us to understand that by taking exclusive actions on behalf of Krishna benefits us. Krishna does not really want any service from us. Krishna does not lack servants or people who are serving him. But when we do take an exclusive decision to be able to serve the Lord under any circumstances, the Lord becomes like the sunlight that provides the vision for all and sundry. The Lord becomes the source of inspiration, who is there to be able to act on us from within and from without. From within, the Lord is there as the super soul, and from without, he manifests as the spiritual master to be able to guide us. And so it is important for us to be able to have a common denominator in our lives. And that means that what is it that sustains our lives, and without that very presence, or without the presence of that very personality, how we feel the difference. And so we don't have to make experiments about what Krishna means to us, what Krishna means to the devotees. But the understanding from the scriptures and from our own personal experience is that if we have even a little faith in the holy names, if we have a little faith in devotional service, Krishna reciprocates. The only issue is that when we go deeper, it becomes a big challenge for us to stay without experiencing what Krishna really means to us. And so we can't force everybody to be on the path of Bhakti, because it's not a path that is meant for everybody. I mean, it's like you can't force everyone to go and get a PhD. But we can share that mercifulness of Lord Krishna to everyone that we encounter in our lives. And then, not even by preaching, but by our own word, or by our own works, by our own behavior, by our own, what I would call a modus vivendi, a modus operandi, the manner we behave to people and the way we operate within people's comfort zones. They'll be able to figure out whether our presence in their lives means anything to them or not. Just like the presence of the Lord before the devotee means so much to the devotee's sustainable existence. So the people that we encounter even in our own lives, that dim reflection of Krishna is there in us, and they will encounter that if we really have been impacted by the Lord through his love and grace. And so just like these devotees are lamenting, it's a good system to be able to understand how someone who cares for you when it's not there on the planet, or when it's not physically there, this is then you feel it. I mean, it's like some of us who have lost, or whose spiritual masters have left the planet. Sometimes we may not even know when they were available physically on the planet. We may not know the extent of the impacts of the love they have for us. But then if they are not there, then we begin to realize how our lives have somehow the other become, there's a vacancy in our lives. So that is the similar way that these Krishna's followers, Krishna's devotees are feeling that, and they are very expressive. They don't hide it from the Lord. And so the expression, their experiences, and this is what we call hermeneutic phenomenology. The experience that people have, you can't take that place. We cannot take that place. Everyone has their individual experience. And so these devotees, they have their individual experience, and they are expressing themselves how they feel desolate and afflicted in the absence of love. So the more someone is becoming attached, or someone to the degree that someone is attached to the devotional service of the Lord, to the degree that that person becomes desolate and afflicted when there is some type of a hindrance in having access to the Lord. And this is the experience that these pure souls are expressing. And with this, we can have some insight about what it takes to be a true lover of Krishna, and how we are going to respond to a situation where we don't have a chance to connect with Krishna. We don't have a chance to call Krishna's names. We don't have a chance to see the deity of Krishna. I mean, during this COVID pandemic, you find that people can't even go to the temple. People can't even go to have darshan of the deities, and life becomes so difficult. And that is why, when even people are told not to go to the temple, you see, when it's time for program, people come there, they stand by the gate, and they're begging to go in. And the security guard said, no, you
I can't help you with that on Mac.
Oh, gosh. And when the security personnel, they refuse them to go into the temple, that is supposedly for their own good. But spiritually speaking, people were dehydrated, so to say. And so this is this could be a gross but similar experience when Lord Krishna departs to Vrindavan, Mathura, or Hastinapur, and those he left behind, they feel really, really negatively impacted. But it is not like a material situation. That is also a form of ecstasy, love and separation. And so we can learn something from this type of interaction of the devotees with Lord Krishna and how they have to use, or how we can use our very short existence in serving wholeheartedly. Because, see, the opportunity is there for everyone. And for those of us who have been hanging out or hanging in for a while, we should also think that suppose some other person, some other new person had that opportunity of being around that long or directly interacting with the spiritual master or directly having a chance to be able to serve deities, how much advancement could they have made in comparison to ourselves? Because sometimes we don't really see the difference. Sometimes we think that, well, we are very fortunate and everyone else is unfortunate. But no, we have to be in the mood of seeing ourselves as being fortunate and trying to see how others could be helped to be able to grow. Because the whole thing is like an ocean where it is unlimited. No one can say they have swam across an ocean. So love of Krishna is also like an unlimited ocean. And depending on the depth of your affinity for the Lord, the depth of love that you have for the Lord, that reciprocation of feelings and intensity of not being able to survive without Krishna can exist in one's life. Otherwise, it becomes like a story. Oh, this is what Krishna's devotees were telling him. Man, how do we feel about this? Do we really believe this? Or we are just listening, or we just reading it or listening as a story, as a leader? How does this impact us? So the devotional practice that we have adopted from the acharyas, from the six Goswamis, what Prabhupada has given to us. Sometimes people leave the movement because they've had somebody say, oh, Prabhupada did not give you everything. But just the holy name in itself is complete. And so we can attain pure devotional service just by chanting the holy name. It's not the high profile information, devotional information culture that somebody comes to you and he wants to tell you, he wants to reveal to you your original form. And if even it tells you your original form and you don't practice, how will that impact on you? How will that impact on you? You just know something like a theory, but are you ready? Are you ready to act on that platform? Yeah, I've seen people who left the movement because someone come to tell them that Prabhupada did not give you everything. So Prabhupada has given us everything, and we should just use those spiritual tools and facilities to perfect our existence, raise ourselves, raise our consciousness to that platform where if we don't have access to Krishna, we will commit suicide. Any comments or questions? Saha, any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Maharaj. Of course, I think I'm sick. I always have questions, but I'll let the devotees go
No,
ahead.
asking a question means that you are very much alive, because anyone can answer a question, but not everyone can ask a question. Asking a question requires so much of critical and creative thinking.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Well, thank you. Dear devotees, if anyone has any question for Maharaj, you can use the raise hands emoji and you'll be unmuted so you can ask your question. We want to say Hare Krishna to His Holiness Bhakti Charadeshna Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Uh,
His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. So
Thank you,
Maharaj,
Charu.
okay.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, we have our first question from Gopinath Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, unmute and ask your question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavad.
My question pertains to how Srila Prabhupada left Gaudiya Math and established ISKCON. Actually, he did not leave Gaudiya Math completely, but he realized that preaching outside India will be beneficial for everybody. So he did that for all of us. And now we can see that we are all benefiting from this, his optimism. Now, we the devotees who have benefited from this magnanimity of Srila Prabhupada has a duty, a serious duty to perform. And this duty is also to go out and preach to the ignorant souls who are also hungry for devotional service. It seems like some of us, we are enjoying Srila Prabhupada's movement without going out and preach to people to also become devotees as we have become devotees. So my question, we encourage ourselves to become very optimistic and very hungry to make other people devotees. We can see other movements, other religious bodies are preaching vigorously, like the Christianity. When you go out, you see them preaching in the streets. The Muslims are preaching. They are even capturing the eastern countries. Even in India, they have entered there and they are causing a lot of problems there. Bangladesh, and so on and so forth. They are using a lot of strategies to preach all over and capturing people, even though their religious doctrine is not so much that can help people. But yes, they are doing that because they have faith in their Prophet Muhammad. So how can we also become optimistical in this aspect of life, preaching to the public? This is my question. Hare Krishna.
So from what I can understand, what you're saying is that there is no enthusiasm amongst the devotees in terms of sharing the knowledge. See, I remember when we are managing temples in Nigeria. I remember I was temple president in a number of places. But one of the judgment calls is how many devotees you are able to make a year to live. When the Guru comes, he wants to see how many devotees you've made, how many books you've distributed, how many top shots you have been able to reach out to. So I'm not saying that what you're saying is true or false. That you have authorities there, and I know from my own little experience that preaching is the essence and purity is the force. So if someone is not being motivated or enthusiastic to preach, they should connect with those who are having the spirit of enthusiasm, because enthusiasm is contagious. So if you feel that you're not being inspired, then look for people. Now even the digitalized system, the global digitalized system makes things so easy. You can connect with somebody even if even they are not within your area. So the question of not having the motivation to preach shouldn't be there. I mean, invite that they sent to me yesterday from France, and they want me to come. They want me to present, to be a keynote presenter at an international conference on management, business, and economics. And I sent it to Kavi Kanapura, because he just finished his Master of Business Administration, and he wants to do the type of preaching that we've been doing over the years. And so he wants a motivation. And so if the type of preaching that he wants to do, look for people who are skilled in those areas and connect with them so that they could motivate you. Because being optimistic alone is not enough. Optimism is a material conception. It's a material phenomenon. Hope is divine, according to American psychology. So when we say we are hopeful, it means that there is a connection. There is a deep connection that we rely on the Lord. Being optimistic simply implies that we are depending on our powers. We have willpower, we have the zeal, and we are thinking that with all of these facilities, we will be able to attain our goal. But that's not enough. Being optimistic is good, but we should anchor every of our deeds in the ocean of hope, because hope is divine. And so we don't lack people who are motivated in West Africa. If even you are somebody who is interested in Harinam, Srivas himself is there, going out with devotees for Harinam, and also Food for Life. I saw one picture that someone posted on the web, and it's about Srivas participating really motivated, because you don't feel that this one particular service is for a particular person, or there is there is a discrimination in terms of who does what. So that's how we are trained. Everyone should see how they are being motivated to do some preaching for the sake of Prabhupada. So what you point you raise is pretty appreciated. Yeah, Prabhupada sacrificed his life to be able to spread this mission all over the world. And so we have got the opportunity to be able to be part of the people who benefit from his endeavors, from his sacrifice. And so we should also make some sacrifice in terms of making this knowledge available for other people. And you see, one of the things is, if we continue to make some comparisons, it's the Krishna consciousness is the highest platform that you can think of in terms of religiosity or philosophy or spirituality. So some people that we may meet, it does not necessarily mean that our temples are going to be full like the Christian churches. Christian churches, you can do anything goes. So people would be generally crowned there. And so if we begin to make those comparisons in terms of how the Christians have made thousands and millions of followers, I think that you may have a different approach to the whole situation. Yes, we should preach and be able to recruit new people and motivate new people to give in their lives. At the same time, we should see how we're having the standard. Like, some of the temples in India, they have their standard. And I know the case of Chopati, and I think some other places they have their standard. And so if we also set up some of our temples with a particular standard, we will attract those quality of people to join. The problem is that we are afraid if we set up a good standard, then we will not have people. But it's not the case. It's a matter of having our full hope that basically supply, and even the devotees that we need to be able to help in our mission. The Lord is in a position to be able to send them if we simply desire to have just opportunity to facilitate the needs of others. All right.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maharaj, my question is from the pulpit. Srila Prabhupada was talking about, Srila Prabhupada usually likes using a lot of analogies. So Srila Prabhupada was saying that without the sun, our eyes are almost useless or very limited. We can only see very little. So he's likening Krishna to be like the sun. So because Krishna was away, the citizens of Dwaraka felt empty. Now, during the day, when the sun comes out, we can see. At night, it's dark. The sun is away, so we cannot see. So if Krishna is likened to be the sun, that means that when we have Krishna, we have the light. But
Just a minute.
Okay.
Hold a break. Hold your, just a minute.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yes, sorry for the break in transmission. Yes, answer.
Yes.
What's the question?
Yeah, the question is, even though the sun comes out where everybody should be able to see, but there is this particular creature called owl. The sun comes
What?
out. Owl.
Uh-huh.
The sun comes out,
Okay.
and instead of seeing, it's actually blind. It doesn't see during the day.
Okay.
So my question is, it seems there are some devotees like myself who are like owl. We may even be very close to Krishna, but we are still so blind. We come very close to Krishna, yet we are very far away from Krishna. So what causes that? What causes some of us to be very close to Krishna, yet very, very distant away from Krishna?
Okay. Thank you. That's a very nice nice thought, very nice question. Yeah, we may have, it's like a child is born in an aristocratic family. There's so much of facilities there, money is there, everything is there, but they choose to be vagabonds. They choose to live their life of hippies. They don't want to have good standard. They don't want to hear their parents. So what can the parents do? But this is due to carried over life, due to the impact of the modes of nature, the mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. They are vying for
Maharaj told us he was having problems with his internet connection. So we'll wait for him. He'll be back. We lost Maharaj. So let's wait for a few seconds to see. He might be able to reconnect.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Bhakti Traditional Maharaj, since Maharaj is having hard time reconnecting, would you be kind enough to continue with the answering? Ganga Prasad Prabhu, any of the senior devotees?
Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
Please come again. Can you repeat remind me the question?
Well, the question is, Krishna is like the sun. So when the sun comes out, then the eyes has the power to see. And even though the sun is out, but there is this bird called owl. It doesn't see during the day. It only sees at night in the dark. So my question is, there may be devotees like myself who come very close to Krishna, which is the light, sunlight, yet I'm blind, I do not see. So what causes that? What causes that one comes very close to the sun and yet cannot see, like the owl?
Hmm. Okay. Yes. This is like there is three type of devotees. There's one analogy that when we fall, from the sky, either we are in goodness, passion, or ignorance, and when even though we approach Krishna, causing like a spark light, a spark of light, when it falls on the mud, automatically quenches. When the same spark fall on the wet, grass, can create some smoke, as if it's going to light, that cannot light. Also, when the same spark fall on the dry grass, catch fire very quickly, become a big fire. So our consciousness is there also. It's like also waking up in the morning. Someone when they wake up from Mangalarti and contemplating the the ceiling and his alarm and so many things, he's still contemplating whether to go and take bath or not. It's awakened. He's still on the bed. The other one will still wake up, sit on the bed, but again, still, especially on the when it's cold season, contemplating whether to go and bath or not. Yes. So both of them, they are already awake, but they are still contemplating what to do. The third one will get up from the bed and go and take his bath, take a shower, put tilak, and go to the temple. Yeah. So we have different levels of consciousness. Even though Krishna, you see, I read this yesterday, something on the platform that I think was posted by someone, a quote from Radhan Maharaj, that Nakshur is a son of Krishna and Mother Bhumi. But still, he became a demon. Son of Krishna with Bhumi Devi. Still became a demon. Why? Because he has a bad sangha, a bad association with Banasur. So he became a demon. So we may come so close to Krishna that if we are not awakened, spiritually, we may not get it. Yeah. So it depends. It depends on our level of consciousness. Yeah. Depends on our desires also. What we want. Many people come to Krishna consciousness. That we have different. There are 4 types of devotees, coming to Krishna. Those who want money, those who are in trouble, those who are curious, and those who want knowledge. So we have different 4 types of.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. We're so fortunate. His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj is back.
You could give a better answer. Sorry, use this one.
No, Maharaj, it was like you were actually talking about me because oftentimes I will wake up in the morning and I'll be looking at the clock, I'll be looking at my alarm clock and wondering whether I should go take shower or it happens to me a lot. So thank you. I can relate to your answer.
So,
okay, Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is India. This is I'm in India. Okay.
Maharaj is back, huh?
Yes. Maharaj, should I repeat the question or you remember the question?
I thought that Krishna Maharaj has answered it.
Yeah, of course he did. Yes.
So Maharaj, can give your
question?
answer.
Huh?
Maharaj can give his answer. I would like to hear from him.
What was the question about what?
No, my question was the sunlight helps us see. When the sunlight is off, we do not see. But some creatures like the owl, even though the sunlight is there, they do not see. They only see during the dark hours. So my question is, there may be somebody like me, I may be very close to Krishna, who is the sunlight, yet I'm blind. So what brings about this?
Yeah, to have that conception, to have that idea is in itself humility, because sometimes, we might be very close to Krishna, we might be having access to everything, and we're not able to take, high-profile advantage of the facilities and the things that are valuable to us to be able to access Krishna properly. If everyone had the mindset that you have to ask this question and said we will be growing rapidly, because the tendency is to think that I am very advanced, I'm better than everyone else. So for someone to say that I'm very close to the mark, but I'm not taking advantage of it, that gives us, this is called self-diagnosis. If someone is having a problem and they're able to diagnose it, they're able to figure out that they have a problem, they could get help with treatment. But if I have a problem and then I still feel that I don't have a problem, then I can't even go to see a doctor. And so I think your mindset is very good, because we have an opportunity to be able to make hay while the sun shines, but we have failed that opportunity. And so we should all think like you in this sense. So, but then we are being forced sometimes against better judgment due to endogenous and exogenous factors, like I mentioned about the modes of material nature, the lust factor, and a number of other things. So sometimes if we just look at our bad habits only, and we are not able to forgive ourselves and move forward, it creates another stumbling block. And therefore, we should think of how we have been blessed by the Lord to have this type of association. And although we have a lot of shortcomings, we're not able to take advantage of what we have properly, we should forgive ourselves, pray to the Lord for forgiveness, and be able to forge ahead. So, regarding what is the problem, I enumerated the permutations of the three modes of material nature and the lost factor. These are major endogenous and exogenous factors which are, impeding or which are impacting on us in a very negative way, against sometimes, maybe making us to act against our better judgment sometimes. So, Saha, I don't know whether I've responded to your question.
Very, very much. Very much, very much. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have any question? Maharaj, from the text itself.
Yeah.
From the text itself, I remember when I first came to the US, there is one devotee, I won't mention the name here, but you know him, Maharaj. This devotee, very wonderful devotee. He knows the philosophy. He preaches beautifully. But I will meet this devotee and I will say Hare Krishna to him. And he will take his eyes away. He will never respond to my Hare Krishna. And this happened so many times. So it got to a point I also stopped saying Hare Krishna to him. Now, I understand that it's an offense. Like when you see a devotee and you do not say Hare Krishna, you do not become happy seeing a devotee. But I wasn't saying Hare Krishna to this devotee because of so many times saying Hare Krishna to him and him not responding. So at some point I stopped saying Hare Krishna. Could that be considered as being disrespectful to a Vaishnava? I don't know. I just wanted to find out. I'm trying to patch up lots of mistakes I have done in the past, so I don't repeat them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking this. Hare Krishna.
So here's the case. Here's a case where someone has repeatedly been abusive to you. That is called emotional abuse. Okay. Someone has been emotionally abusive to you. Ignoring someone is called emotional abuse. So someone has been emotionally abusive to you. And you also at some point in time came down to their platform and you also started retaliating with emotional abuse. So, I mean, it's like you've gone down to his level. And in the future, if someone is doing that, what you could do is find time and call him or speak with him, find out what you might have done to him that he is emotionally abusing you. If you use these very languages, these very, criminological languages, when people do these type of things, then they realize the gravity of the thing, that it's not just, offense, but it is a criminological act. Ignoring someone, I repeat, ignoring someone, internationally speaking, is an emotional abuse. So you greeted somebody, you paid obeisance to somebody, and he ignored you, he didn't respond to you. And you could do that repeatedly, but at some point in time, you should call to action to ameliorate the situation. Call the person, speak with them, whether you have done something really grievous to them, that they are emotionally being abusive to you in this way, so that you could correct yourself, and he could tell you the best way to be able to serve him or relate with him to make your relationship better. Don't go down to their level.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for that answer. Yes.
It's challenging, but don't go down to their level.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. I think the time is up.
Well, thank you so much, Maharaj, because it's really late at your end. So thank you for staying out to bless us with your association and presence. So
I always like this forum. So I sacrifice my little A little effort.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you.
It seems Salika Prabhu, you have something to say?
Yes, Maharaj. Please
Okay.
accept my respectful obeisances.
Dhanyavad, Salik.
Maharaj, how is your health? How is everything around you?
Everything around me is falling apart. I'm just on the queue.
Maharaj, I wanted to get, I'm using this opportunity to seek for a time I can call you. I need to discuss something with you. There is some preaching opportunity and I need your assistance like anything. So, but when I knew you were going to give class today, so I said I'll use this opportunity to seek for your time that I can call. That will be convenient.
Okay, can you reach out to me on my Indian phone number?
Yes.
Send me a message so that we can schedule the time for call.
Okay, I'll do just that, Maharaj.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Thank you. Also, I heard about your wonderful preaching activities with the Muslims and other people there. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Keep up with the good work.
Thank you, Maharaj.
All right, Sahadev,
Okay,
in the absence of any other comments or questions, we would like to adjourn the meeting.
Yes, and so we ask all devotees to unmute and then we chant Big Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our appreciation for Maharaj's presence. Jai Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.
You're welcome.
All glory to His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Ki Jai.
Jai.
All glory to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sahadev Prabhu ki Jai.
All glory to Kavi Kannapura Prabhu. The hidden gem. Hare Krishna.